John out here with you. It is Saturday, August 15th. I want to get in here quickly for a quick hitter for the Marvel's Avengers Beta. Now currently this is going on the PlayStation 4. Sorry guys for the short window, but that's pretty much all it is, because unless you reserve the game to play earlier in the pre-order, I'd be able to get this stuff to you earlier. But right now, Friday the 14th, Saturday the 15th, and Sunday the 16th, the Marvel Avengers Beta is active on the PS4. All you really got to do is go into the store, download the beta, and you're good to go. It's about 25 gigs. Now when we talk about it, signing up for the beta is a whole different experience, right? You need a Square Enix account in order to sign up for this beta. So right when you log in, right when you boot up the game, it's going to tell you, please access your credentials from Square Enix. So hopefully when you do that, you press the triangle button to send and it has your correct email. If not, adjust it. You want to have your phone handy with you in order to do this. So check your phone. Should be an email there from Square Enix to finalize your account. And I mean, damn, I haven't had anything to do with them online since what, like Final Fantasy 11 on the PlayStation 2? Can't believe it's been that goddamn long. So finalize your account. You know, from your phone, email, having your phone handy is definitely the sure way to go as far as signing up everything. So get that stuff done. And once that's done, press the triangle button again on the PlayStation 4 to send it, and then you should be good to go once everything else is all verified. Once it's verified, it puts you to the main screen where you can boot up the game. So in this short sequence, in this short video, you're going to see, you know, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, Miss Marvel, and Hulk. So I kind of got this stuff as succinct as possible to get a taste of what combat and things are going to be like. So this game is set to release on December, right? And this is kind of a big year for Square Enix, going from the Final Fantasy VII reboot and now into the Marvel Avengers Beta. And with my short time with it, with the few hours that I've had with it, I feel like I've had enough adequate time in order to give you my thoughts and processes on this game, right? So if you've played Call of Duty, if you played Destiny, if you played any of that kind of stuff before, whether it's just, you know, holding a certain area for a certain amount of time from forces, taking all enemies out in a certain area, using some of your abilities to stem the tide, whether it would be for first-person shooters like throwing grenades and keeping your area and keeping your people safe, that's kind of what you're doing in this game, equipped with all the bars and stuff and the information and the hit point counts and stuff that I'm sure they'll add later with the Destiny style bars. Now pretty much this game feels like Destiny and some of those other RPGs that you played, but with Marvel Avengers characters thrown inside it. And yeah, that's kind of the point. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm not necessarily sure if that works too well. Now, I'll tell you honestly, I'm not too familiar with all the comic book stuff, the movies. I know the difference between Marvel and DC, because DC pretty much has Batman and nothing else. Right? I know enough for all of that. I know who Spider-Man is and things like that. Alright, I get that. But if you played Marvel Ultimate Alliance on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 at that time, it's not too much different, except, you know, you got more gear that you can level up from side to side, and that kind of has a Destiny feel of it. So you do some missions, you go through some story sequences, you get updated gear, rinse and repeat. That's kind of the way this stuff works. Now, in my opinion, would you get more out of this game if you're more in tune with, you know, the lore, the story, the backgrounds, and everything else? No. I don't think that's really much of a misnomer. I don't think you have to know a lot of that in order to deal with this game. You're pretty much going from cycle to cycle. Help these people, defend this area, go to the next thing, do this, do that, get more upgraded equipment. You have little vocal jabs here and there from your teammates, which I really always appreciate it. Whether it be heroes or standard RPG or things like that, that always adds to, you know, the humor and the feeling of the game, to have it, you know, breathe a little brevity into it, breathe a little life. But at the same time, playing through this beta, going through the initial sequence that you saw there with Thor, you know, Black Widow, Hulk, Iron Man, it gives you the sense of, damn, this game is going to be pretty cool. You get a taste of everything else that's going to be in there, and then quickly after the single player missions go from Bruce Banner and Hulk and Miss Marvel here, once that stuff is done, you pretty much go into your computer database, and then you go from next mission to next mission to next mission to next mission, and it really doesn't do much other than just I get better equipment and I go on to the next area. And that was kind of the problem I had. You know, initially when we talk about it, when the PlayStation 4 had launched and Destiny and Bungie came out pretty early, I know there was a little bit of a story in there, but it wasn't all that goddamn interesting. And even now, you have that kind of similar gameplay when it comes to the Marvel Avengers Beta, but with Marvel characters in it. So if you do appreciate the characters a little more, yeah, you might get a little bit out of it, but at the same time, it's just the same goddamn repetitive gameplay over and over and over again. The one thing I did like in terms of the different abilities and movesets that you can do, I think one of the later clips I had in here was I was Iron Man, and yeah, I'm a little akin to Iron Man because he can fly and do some other things. I kind of like Tony Stark. I like Robert Downey Jr., so, you know, sue me on that one. But there was a little combination special that I did with Iron Man and the Hulk, where he kind of turned into the Hulk but in the Iron Man suit and be able to move around and stuff like that. That was kind of cool. There's some interesting specials and things that you can do, but in that sense, that's pretty much all you're doing throughout the game. Now, I know this has been done in Destiny and stuff like that too. When you go into the gear screen, you have that little laser pointer that you move around, but it's kind of, it feels fucking weird, right? Because it feels like a PC thing where you should just be able to click and stuff, and you'll see that here as I go into the gear and the settings like that. But that little pointer that you control with the left stick, can't you just really have it where I can just use the D-pad and scroll through that a little bit more? I know that was another one of those things on Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but when you're kind of dealing with stuff, I know it's a multi-platform thing, but when you're dealing with stuff, even a controller in your hand, even if you use a PC all the time, is it really that necessary to have the pointer? Can't you just use a little bit more with the controller? It makes the menus a lot more clunky to go through when you have the goddamn pointer in there. Like, okay, I'm used to playing Ghost of Tsushima, right? And that's pretty much just going there. It's pretty easy to go through there, go through your weapons, cycle, all that stuff. It just makes things a hell of a lot easier rather than dealing with the damn pointer. I know it's a small thing to talk about, but I don't see that as something that they're going to change. And it just seems like something you shouldn't deal with, especially when you're using a controller. Also, if you press up on the D-pad, you can get a little segment of where you need to go next, right? But it goes away after like 5 or 6 seconds. But here's the thing. When you're trying to open up certain places, certain little buildings to get the secret chests and stuff like that, they're hidden behind a few puzzles. If you played Watch Dogs, you know, take this down, you hack this out, open up this building. If you played some other things like that, hit some other things in certain order, it opens up this building. It's kind of confusing in sense of there isn't really a lot of geographical hints in terms of what you need to do next. Sometimes I'm going through these story sequences and quite frankly, I just get lost. And it's not because I'm not paying attention, it's just because there's not enough direction on where to go next. And then in the beta, in the sense when you finish a mission, it'll tell you from 1 to 5 stars, 1 being the worst and 5 being the most. How do you rate this mission? Is that a short way for them to leave feedback in there in terms of what mission sucks and what need to change? Because as far as what I would kind of want to change right now is hopefully you can make the missions a little bit less repetitive, but I know that's going to be hard to do. But get rid of that damn mouse pointer and give a mini-map on the top right corner or something like that so we have an idea of where to go next. Because if you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, it's not too much fun. But check out the beta. If you got some friends to play with, you can get a little fun with it. But $60 in December, I don't think so. You're going to want to wait until a price drop occurs. Check you guys later. Peace out.